Hi everyone. Welcome to my final project for script analysis and criticism. For this project, we have to critique any piece of work that we want. It could be anything from movies to games. You think about it, you can do it. So for mine, I'm going to do about a hobby that I'm very passionate about, and that's card collecting. In particular, Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon. And what we're going to talk about specifically is the critiquing of the rarity of cards, how and why they drop in price, and critiquing that per se. Now, there's two main ways and reasons that this happens, and we're going to use both of the games as examples. So first, we're going to go with Yu-Gi-Oh, one of the two main reasons why a card's price is so rare. So here we go. Go to share screen. And here we go. So right now we are looking at three cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! First, Lightning Storm. This card came out about a year ago, last January. And so the reason we're using Yu-Gi-Oh! Is for the effect purposes. One reason why a card is so expensive and rare is because of what it can do for the game. For example, here's Lightning Storm. If you control no face-up cards, activate one of these effects. Destroy all attack position monsters your opponent controls. Destroy all spells and traps your opponents control. You can only activate one Lightning Storm per turn. And again, it's so expensive. It's $78 right now because it is that impactful in the game. It can just destroy an entire field for your opponent. And also, it's the only one of it. For another example, Triple Tactics Talent is a card that came out in the summertime in a set called Rise of the Duelists. And like Lightning Storm, it has a lot of variety of effects. If your opponent has activated a monster effect during your main phase, this turn activate one of these effects. Draw two cards, take control of one monster your opponent controls until the end phase. Look at your opponent's hand and choose one of them to shuffle into the deck. You can only activate one Triple Tactics Talent per turn. Again, it is so big and it can just do so many things. That's why it's so expensive. Not only is it, again, there's only one of printing of it, but its effect is so incredible that it changes the whole field. And then even some specific cards, specific decks. This is a fusion monster called Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Right now, he's about $44. He also came out in the summertime. So the Fusion Summer Dark Magician and Red Eyes Black Dragon, or one dragon effect monster, cannot be destroyed by card effects. Neither player can target this card with card effects. During your main phase, you can destroy one monster your opponent controls, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack. You can use this effect a number of times per turn, up to the number of normal monsters use as fusion material for this card. Once per turn, when a card or effect is activated, quick effect, you can discard one card and negate the activation if you destroy that card. And if you do that, this card gains 1,000 attack. So even cards that are somewhat kind of specific, they're so powerful that it changes the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And that's why it's so expensive. So that's why a lot of people pre-order and buy these cards because of the rarity of certain cards like these. However, it's a double-edged sword. Now we're going to talk about how things can dramatically lower. Here's a card called Sage with Eyes of Blue. When this card is normal summon, you can add one level 1 light tuner from your deck to your hand, except Sage of Eyes of Blue. You can discard this card, then target one effect monster you control, send it to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon one blue-eyes monster from your deck. You can only use this effect of Sage of White with Eyes of Blue once per turn. Like Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, it's a little bit specific, but it changed the entire meta. That's a common term for Yu-Gi-Oh players. Like that's the cards that just change the game. Now you're wondering why such an amazing card is only $3.93, and that's a good reason. Back in 2016, it came out in a set called Shining Victories. And at the time, even though they have all these cards, Cosmo Dark Planet, Perform Pal, Odd Eyes, Light Phoenix, Crystal Wing, Single Dragon, Red Eyes, Toon Dragon, those weren't the most expensive cards. It was Sage of Eyes of Blue. And like these cards, it was up between $50 to $100. But here's what happened. It got reprinted. When that happens, the value of a card drops dramatically. So just like that, like the flip of a coin, your value of a card just decreases immensely. So yes, cards have amazing effects, can get a super amount of money, but at the flip of a dime, it just loses all its value. So it's very fascinating for me. So if you want to do this, you got to be very collecting cards, trying to make money by selling all the rare cards. You just got to be watching the market very carefully, knowing when reprints of cards are going to drop. So for example, this card, Lightning Storm, it's already lost about $30 because there's a lot of speculation or rumor when Konami, the people who make Yu-Gi-Oh cards, are going to release their new 2021 year tin. Like every year they do a tin where they reprint all the best cards from the past year. This thing's going to probably lose half its value just because of reprints. Now we're going to go to the other field, why cards are so rare, and that's just the nostalgia value and things like that. Now, as much as I love Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon is a more money market thing. And that is why here's two of the most recent sets. Here's a Charizard. Right now, this is the most recent set that just came out a few weeks ago. He's worth $549.99. And you look at it, again, I don't know too much about the game, but he doesn't do anything. It's not like the other card from Yu-Gi-Oh when like he has all these super effects. It's like he's just that rare and beautiful that people go insane for it. And here's another Charizard from a few months ago from another set called Champion's Path. He's still up $369. So again, this is the other reason why cards still go up. And the thing is, when cards like these happen, they still stay up just because of how rare it comes from a set, for example. Like a specific card that goes from a certain set after so amount of time, it's so nostalgic that people still want the original rarity. That's why the original Charizard first edition from the original base set is worth tens of thousands, if not like you have perfect mints, like $250,000. It's insane. So I'm gonna end the share, and so this is why my video of critiquing. It's a hobby of mine, but it's a very unique critiquing. And if you want to get into this business, it's in this hobby slash business. It's amazing, but you got to know the market and just know when to sell your investments, know when to keep them. Because I know so many people freaking out right now because they have so many lightning storms that they're going to lose a ton of money unless they soon sell them soon. So that is my final project. My critique is why the rarity of cards in card games go up in price and shoot down in price in an instant.